Hello my lovelies, how are you guys doing today? Welcome to my channel of Levy Reads and Finest Teas. And for those of you who don't know, my name is Jamie, and every week I bring you guys some little bit of mixed videos. I do anything from reviews to book boxes to book hauls to a little bit of everything. But what I'm going to be doing for you guys this week is I have my book page, and we're going to be going through and looking at that. And those who have watched my previous channel, yes, I cut my hair. And I did it myself. This is the first time I've ever done my hair cut from like down here all the way up here. And I didn't realize until yesterday that I pretty much made my hair like Velma. I look like Velma. I don't know if that makes me nerd out or if I'm very disturbed by that. Because I used to look a lot like Velma. I used to have the big nerdy looking glasses like all the time. I wear glasses normally. I have contacts now, but I look like Velma. Just put a pair of glasses on me and I'll look like her. I may end up being her for Halloween because I can't think of a single thing to do for Halloween, and I don't know if anybody my age even dresses up for Halloween anymore. We dress up just for the fun of it, and in case we get kids over, we want to be nerded out just a little bit. But I look like Velma. I don't know if I did that on purpose, but I'm just gonna have to suck it up until it grows out again, because I'm not cutting it any shorter. I don't wanna cut it any shorter. I'm not taking that risk. Nope. For those of you who don't know about Bookpage, Bookpage is a new release, kind of like a magazine that you guys can look at every month and see the latest reviews. You guys can look and see the newest releases. They do have a couple of interviews from certain authors that they do occasionally in here. I think we have 2 in here today. Let's see, 1, 2. We have 3. We have 3 in this one today. And we're going to be looking through and seeing all of our new releases, see if there's anything that catches our eye or any like 5-star predictions, anything like that. That's what we get from doing these. And this caught my eye on the back here. And I have seen this. I went to Books A Million recently. I did see that they made a new cover for the Hunger Games. I don't know if that's a graphic novel or if they just redid the cover. This may just be the first one that they changed into like a graphic novel, which I may have to look at the next time I'm in the store, and I'll let you guys know. We're going to be going through this today, and we'll see if we have any 5-star predictions or any new releases that we think that I think I'm going to like. And I'm already in love with the first one just from looking at the cover. Alright, so what we're going to do is we are going to go through our book page and we're going to look through and see which ones that we're going to pick this month. These are apparently the interviews that they have in here, and we are going to look and see. Okay, I'm on the first page already, and already I'm jealous. Apparently Nashville is having a big festival of books that gets all these authors over. Too bad I'm not in Nashville, because I would love to go to this. And it's way too close that I can't plan it with work, and I can't drive all the way over there because I just had a vacation. So the only one I think I see that I would even want to meet is Alice Randall and N. Powers. Oh! Excuse you. But yeah, for those who like G.J. Clone, if you guys are in Nashville, apparently this is going on. Let's see. You guys may have to look into that a little bit more to see where they're having it. But considering this is from Books A Million, I wouldn't be surprised if it was being held at Books A Million. Okay, so we have our first interview, literally the first page in the book. And judging by from this right here, this looks a little boring to me. But, you know, I'm going to read all this later and determine whether or not I'm going to read it. But I haven't read anything from this author before. If you guys have and you recommend her, feel free to let me know. But as for the rest of the page, there's not really anything that are striking my eye, so we're going to move on. Okay, this is the one that's on the cover, and this is the one I was actually interested about. So let's see. Okay, so we begin the Kingdom of Era, where the Elven High Lord Victor has a death grip on both its own subjects and the neighboring nations. As an alternative to starvation, humans and magical beings from Arrow and beyond flock to the kingdom's gladiator arena. Year after year, fight after fight, they can claw their way towards the royal title of Blackguard and 1,000,000 gold coins. So Leith, a human gladiator from the kingdom of Seer, however you're supposed to say that, needs the money to save his family and his dying sister. After 3 years of brutal battles, he only has within 4 more fights in order to hit 100 victories and become a Blackguard. Keep a low profile and honoring his combat technique have been enough to get him this far, but chance encounter with Maeve, a member of the Elven nobility, awakens Leith to the fact that making Blackguard is as much about politics as physical powers, and unfortunately for Leith, he is not a politician. That seems interesting. I may have to look into this. It's a fantasy romance. I'm not real big on fantasy, but I have been trying different kinds of fantasy books, so we may end up doing this. So I'll have to write that one down. As for this one, it's a romance and suspense. Freelance journalist Ken Hamar has 2 months of access to movie star Tyler Tunn in order to write an in-depth expose. It is the chance of a lifetime, and even though she is known for more serious articles, such as featuring an underground abortion clinic, Ken is recently divorced and needs a boost. When Ken and Tyler meet, they're immediately drawn to each other, but journalistic ethics rule out a relationship between the writer and the subject. So pretty much this is like a clientele type of romance, which I haven't read many of those. So we're going to see if this one hits big, and we'll see. I have heard a lot about the showmance one. Okay. The community's local theater was his refuge as a gay teen, and when the group asked him to stage some musical that just flopped, Noah can't say no, even though Luke, his hunky high school nemesis bully, is involved. So this is pretty much, I have a feeling it's going to be like an enemies to lovers, or like a nemesis to lovers. So I may look into that one. I must say, just by looking at these, all 3 of these just look appealing. Rules for Ghosting, Rise and Divine, and Lightning in Her Hands. That one's a tongue twister. But they all look like, yeah, the Magic Within. So these are probably going to be like witch type books. I may do each of these just because of the look of them, and they all say paranormal, which is always up my alley. So those 3 for me. Okay, so these are the big audiobooks that are out right now. All of these, I've heard about this one. I've seen a bunch of this one. I know this one was a book of the month book, so I already have that one on my list. Let's see. I know everybody's probably going to be looking forward to this one. I haven't read Carnival yet, but it is on my radar to get. And then, let's see. Humor Me was the only one that seemed interesting. An overworked, underappreciated assistant at New York City late night show, though her job entails literally looking for humor. She scouts talent at comedy clubs. Presley's been distracted since the recent death of her mother, Patty. And dialect tones and flawless delivery capture the endearing Presley and seamless transitions between characters and dialogue. So pretty much it's a romantic comedy, but it's like a girl trying to get her humor back because it decreased astronomically because of her mother passing away. So I may end up doing this one because I'm always looking for new audiobooks. And this is actually an author I have never heard of before. So we may look into that one. Alright, so we got all these. Tasha Alexander has another one out. I know on the last book page I did that she just had another one come out as like The Death in Denial, something like that. But she came out with another one, so I gotta put that one down too. I looked at the rest of these. This is the only one that had seemed interesting to me. Okay, so we've got Bailey Briggs lives in the year-round Halloween-themed town of Avalon Hollow, Oregon. In addition to managing Lazy Bones Books, which would be nice, it would be nice having a bookstore, Bailey is also running the Spooky Season Literary Festival. But when she discovers a body in the middle of the town's hay bale maze, Bailey uncovers decades-old grievances that are a lot scarier and deadlier than some of the stories in her bookshop. Duncan previously wrote the Ground Rules series, which I haven't read either, but it says the town of Evelyn Hall feels like its own character, quirky, warm, and inviting. It does look like something that would strike me as a thriller, and I do love my thrillers, and this is definitely spooky season, so this would be nice to read. I may have to look into when this is going to come out. Okay, so I've looked through all these. None of these seem like something I would pick up. And then I was hopping over to this page, and I saw this one. So, Village Library Demon Hunting Society. This seems very interesting. So, librarian Sherry Pinkwinkle, that's quite a funny name, Sherry Pinkwhistle, resides in a quiet hamlet in upstate New York. Miss Pinkwhistle loves a good murder mystery, not only in books but also in the real life. Grisly deaths on the otherwise sleepy little town of Winesap. But when a string of local murders hits a little too close to home, Sherry realizes that she can no longer remain an unattached bystander. A demon or several might be at the heart of these ever-increasing deaths, and Sherry will need help of her skeptical friends and her possibly possessed cat to root out the evil Winesap. That seems like it could also be funny, in addition to being the Halloween type of feel. This would be cool. So a supernatural, cozy mystery, Halloween base. That would be nice. And then we have our another interview page. This one is a long one. Definitely haven't seen one this full in a long time. But I have heard of Ramona Emerson, and she's kind of cool because she used to be a forensic photographer, and she started writing mystery novels, which to me makes it even better. I do have to say that before I continue doing this real quick, is that Ramona Emerson, the reason why I want to read her book so bad, especially now that she's doing like mystery novels, is because some of the best people who write novels in a specific field that they've worked in sometimes are the best authors because they can describe everything so well without doing a lot of research. Because a lot of authors actually do extensive research, like Sarah Penner, her London Seance Society book. I actually got the honor of watching her talk about one of her books right after the London Seance Society came out, and she said she had to do so much homework on trying to get her book off the ground and for everything to make sense. So I give credit to these people who actually take their profession and make something like the novel out of it, because it makes it so much better. Anyway, we're going to go back to the book page now. Okay, so for Books A Million, according to them, these are the spotlight ones, the beautiful books that they have, better covers, all that fun stuff. So they have a new version of Wicked, which I actually just finished today, and it was awesome. I absolutely loved it. They have a new Fellowship of the Ring out, and Legends and Lattes. The Spectacular's coming out. I know about this one. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about this one. A lot of people don't like the writing, and a lot of people don't like the story. So this one may be hit or miss for me, whether I get it or not. I've seen this book everywhere. I absolutely know that it is gorgeous, but I am not paying $32 for that. Ain't no way. Let's see. All the rest of them, I've heard of this one, I've heard of this one. I do intend on having Throne of Glass because I do have it on my shelf, and I do intend on reading the first one to make sure that I want the rest of them. We will get to that point, but I love how they did this on the edge. This is so cool. And next, our Books A Million includes a BookTok page, of course. So the Off Limits Rule, that one looks interesting. That looks like a definite romance one. And then we have After. That one's also been on my radar for a minute. Mine for a Moment and Fucking Sweet. Both of those I've heard of a lot. And same thing with Boyfriend. And I know that one was a Book of the Month pick. And I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about this one. So that one we're definitely going to have to see if I do or not. Hopping over, I have seen Grimstone and Monarch all over the place. I know that those two are really, really popular right now. And Monarch did just come out recently. So that one is definitely on the radar. And then Promises and Pomegranates and Starling House. I know these both have been around quite a bit as well. But like I said, I'm not paying $19 per book. That's just not happening. I will look at these. I like how they included a manga role-playing page. I haven't seen like regular book pages do something like this. So this is actually really, really cool. I've been wanting to read Blue Lock for a while. And I've been working on finishing My Hero, so that's definitely something I gotta look for. I love how much detail they put into down here. I have heard so much about Nothing Like the Movies, and so much about the series, so much. And that is definitely one that I was gonna read. Same thing, I believe this is Party with the Light Lark, so that one's definitely gonna be there. The Inheritance Games, I know that one's next. And Sally's, I have been wanting to read any of these books. For those of you who have read The Twisted Tales, let me know how they are, because I have the Beauty and the Beast one on my shelf, and I have been looking forward to reading this so much. And the Beauty and the Beast one is what if Belle's mother was the one who actually cursed the beast. It's a lot of tales like that, for those of you who don't know what the Twisted Tales are. For Sally's Lament, what if Sally discovered the Christmas... What if Sally discovered the Christmas town? I can tell you things would be a whole lot of different. It probably wouldn't have reacted the same way, or... I don't know. But that's the whole point of these, I guess, is to give you a different perspective on the whole thing and give you a different scenario. Ooh. I'm gonna have to add that one into my list. If I love the Beauty and the Beast one, I intend on getting all of these. Definitely 100%. So we got all of our best new fiction. We already saw this one had an interview on the front. Paula Hawkins had a new book come out. It's Boot Hour. I definitely would like to know what that one's about. I may have to look that one up later. Lacey Told Me. I already have that one on my reader from the last one. For those who like Michael Colony, Lee Child, and Louise Penny, they've all got new books out. And then moving on to nonfiction, we got an American Heroes. We have a new Elvis Presley one. Ina Garten, she finally wrote one other than a cookbook. That would be interesting to read because I do like some of her recipes. And then John Grisham, of course, made another one. Go figure. So we have our third interview. And this one actually looks interesting. It's Remembering Emmett Till. Okay, so I looked into a little bit about what this one about. So apparently the author, Ray Thompson, he actually grew up a half an hour drive away, yet he never knew that the structure 23 miles south of his family's home was the site of the savage murder. So this was about him kind of discovering what the barn was and going through and seeing everything and basically making a passion project out of this barn. So he said this was something I was going to do whether anybody knew anything about it or not. So this seems like definitely something that I would read because I have been looking to read more nonfiction. I hope anybody who reads this book will learn that telling the truth about ourselves doesn't make you a weaker American, it makes you a stronger one. I do believe in that 100%. You need to know your history in order to not repeat it, because if you just ignore it, then it's going to repeat itself anyway. Sally Rooney is at it again with her new one. It's literary fiction. Let's see. Apparently, this one is about the story of loss and grieving as two brothers reckon with death of their father in ways that threaten to fragment their already troubled relationships. So looking at these, this seemed like the only one that was interesting to me. It's a historical fiction, and you guys know me in historical fiction, so let's see. Okay, so Pearlie Everlasting's mother is a healer, and her father is a cook in a lodging camp in the woods of New Brunswick. Her father finds an orphan bear cub during fall spring, brings it home, and raises Bruno as the newborn Pearlie's brother. That is so cute. Oh my gosh. That is hilarious. That already got me. I don't even need to read the rest because there's a lot. But that sounds so cute and at the same time very scary. So if you guys... Oh my god. I'm going to read that one. Nothing over here on this end. For those of you who like bibliographical, suspense, and fantasy romance, you guys may be interested in that one. And I'll just let you go through and read. because there is so much. This one I've already seen on a previous book page, so I'm just going to ignore that one. For those of you who don't know, this is about how scholars and librarians became the unlikely spies of World War II. It's very similar to, for those of you who have read The Librarian Spy, this is giving off very similar vibes because it's the same thing. It's the Second World War, and they're going through the same situation, except it's not being filled in by two ladies. This one is how scholars and librarians became the unlikely spies of World War II. That's what it's about. So the Second World War. So professional researchers recruited from university campuses by the Office of Strategic Services and the persecutor to the CIA. So they put all their skills to use and they try to get people out of bad situations, relocating people, or just handing off information to the military, things like that. So those of you who read The Librarian Spy, I'm definitely going to read this. I recommend you guys at least give it a try as well. To be honest, this whole page is nonfiction, and I kind of just perused it, and of course, nothing is catching my eye because this whole thing is just scaring me. So I'm just going to stay away from it. And pretty much the same thing with this page as well. It's all just not, well, hang on. Okay, so apparently this book is about a young girl who escapes her unwanted marriage under a male identity, only to discover the name she's using belongs to a real boy, and using his name has plunged her into the midst of a complex web of intrigues. So they have to solve the mystery of his death and prevent supernatural calamity. This seems like something that I would read too. Right as soon as I was about to give up and just move on. And that's usually about how it works, is I don't think something is going to catch my eye, but you never know. But this seems, it's 1870s based, so I'm definitely going to look into that one. For those of you who like your Ember in the Ashes, we have another author interview and about her latest book, Air. And I have not read Ember in the Ashes yet, so that is definitely something that I will be looking forward to before I read this one. These are some more spooky reads, and nothing really is catching my eye. We've got a whole bunch of different things in here. That one just looks creepy, so we're just going to skip over that. And then we're back in the children's, and there is nothing that I see that is something I've read before. This cute little character make work, cute little illustration work here. Every author does their own, and it changes constantly with every book page. I think it's adorable how it changes so much. I love the little dragon. He's so cute. He could be a little sticker of his own. That would be adorable. Just instead of holding. I think this little guy could be a little sticker of his own. Just instead of doing this, be like books. That would be adorable. He's absolutely adorable. I mean, look at him. Oh, it's so cute. Just even the artwork in this one is just amazing. And like I said, in the back we have our new edition of The Hunger Games, which is, I think, just an illustrated version of the first book. I could be wrong. I'll have to show you guys the next time that I'm in Books A Million, because I do know that they have the copies over there already. The light has finally faded out to where I don't have to worry about setting my camera over here anymore. So that is all I have for you guys today as far as all of the new releases or anything that's coming out recently. And to be honest, I was kind of disappointed there weren't a lot more. I did get a lot out of the last book page video that I did versus this one. This one was mostly interviews, and it kind of surprised me. Normally they don't put 3 interviews in there, they put like 2. And I think I said that last time, but I guess they're just putting in 3 now, every single time. But yeah, Books A Million always has these for you guys. Up near the front, near the cash registers, they'll usually have them. If they don't have them, sometimes local libraries will have them. They have a book room. You guys may have to look into that. If not, then there's no one else I can really think of that would have these. If you guys have any more questions about that, you guys can let me know, and I'll let you know from there. But as of this point, the only thing I have to say, I did get a big kickstart on my October to be read. I have already finished Tester, and I am already working on Suck It Up. which Hester was absolutely amazing, and I'll give you guys my full review at the end of the month when I go through all the books. And Suck It Up, I am about 100 pages in right now, and I'm loving it. It's giving you like middle school reading, but at the same time the story is good enough to where I keep wanting to read it, because a lot of middle school books you're just like picking it up just to read it and then putting it away as soon as it's done. This one I'm actually involved in the story. I want to see what happens because it's such a unique situation. Like, ooh, I'll have to tell you guys all about that when I finish it. So that's all I have for you guys today. It was a very quick little release video. I don't know what video I'm going to be doing next week, but I will definitely think about it this week. More than likely, I'll be doing a small book haul because I do intend to go into the library this next week and getting a couple of things as far as the library, because I haven't been to the library bookstore in like a month. So a lot more books to look through if I haven't been there in a while, because then a whole bunch of new one comes in, and I'm always on the lookout for certain authors, Alice Feeney, Sherry LaPena, all the new books that come out too. A lot of people read them, don't like them and donate them, or they just read them and donate them. They utilize the library more than anything else, so they don't see the point in getting a whole bunch of new books when they could just get them from the library. And I agree. That's one thing that I have been working towards most, is getting back to the situation of just getting new books from the library and returning them when I'm done, instead of buying a whole bunch of books that I may or may not like. And not only that, but I'm just running out of room. So I can't really afford to have many books anymore, because you guys can probably see, but the shelf behind me is already starting to get full. And because of that, that is the last room that I have. So if I guarantee get any more. And not only that, but I do have to take all the books that I unhauled over to the library anyway, so I definitely gotta go this weekend. Thank you guys for joining me today. If you guys haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel. That would be absolutely wonderful if you guys can do that, and follow me every week. If you guys have suggestions, I would love to hear them. If you guys have certain books you want me to read, let me know that as well. I am definitely working on getting back into the new release game, and I have had so much fun doing it, learning about all the new different kinds of genres. After also starting up the book talk, I have had such a wonderful time meeting a whole bunch of new YouTubers and authors and everything else. So if you guys would like me to do something specifically, please let me know that as well. Love your reads, drink your teas, and I'm gonna go start reading some more. Bye!